please repeat. Please read it along with me, but in a subdued voice.
With truth and love, our college clarion call. Come be a strong and youthful band. For God and country, freely pledge we all. Led by the flag for which we stand. Blue for the mind that seeks the good and true. Red for our prowess in the game. White for the glory of a heart that's pure. Bright with an ever-shining flame. Alma Mater, thee be hail. God give thee earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all. For God, our land, and SFS. Alma Mater, thee be hail. God give thee earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all. For God, our land, and SFS. With truth and love, let us united be. True to our glorious college name. High on the hill, a beacon light is she, leading her children on to fame. March on to glory is a message for. Spread truth and love both far and wide. Loyal to the hands who reigns of guidance, teacher and pupil side by side. Alma Mater, thee be hail. God give thee earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all. For God, our land, and SFS. Alma Mater, thee be hail. God give thee earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all. For God, our land, and SFS.
A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Dr. K.D. Thomas, principal of our college, students and staff, I welcome you all to this elocution competition to mark the occasion of the Central Vigilance Awareness Week, which commences today. So we are requested to participate and conduct many activities in order to eradicate corruption from the face of the earth, particularly from our country. And we have joined hands with MECL, that is Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited, Nagpur, and with their collaboration, we are organizing this event for our college students today. And I'm very glad to invite you all and welcome you to this competition. A special welcome and best wishes go to the participants who are going to come here and speak on the various topics allotted to them. Let me briefly tell something about this Vigilance Awareness Week. From the circular that is issued by the agency, if I can say a few points, it will be: the Central Vigilance Commission is an apex anti-corruption body mandated to fight corruption for ensuring integrity in administration. It is a statutory multi-member institution vested with the superintendence of vigilance administration in the central government and its organizations. Besides, overseeing integrity in public administration in the central government and the organizations under it, The Commission endeavors in its outreach measures to create awareness amongst civil society and the public at large towards the policy of achieving transparency, accountability, and corruption-free governance. The Commission is fully committed to implement the policy of zero tolerance against corruption. The Commission has decided that this year, the Vigilance Awareness Week would be observed from 27th October, that is today, to 2nd November 2020 with the theme Satark Bharat Samradh Bharat, that is Vigilant India, Prosperous India. So the observance of the Vigilance Awareness Week would commence with the Integrity Pledge, which we are going to take shortly. And every institution, every organization, as I said, under the central government and various agencies are supposed to undertake various activities. And our college has come up with this elocution competition for you all today. So now I request you all to commit ourselves to anti-corruption and take this integrity pledge. I will be sharing the screen and I request Soma ma'am to read the pledge for us and she will. Participants are requested to keep your audios muted. Kindly mute your audios. And ma'am, once the pledge is visible to you on your screen, let me know and we can read it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father. Good morning to one and all. So I'll take the integrity pledge on your behalf. You can silently read along with me. Right? So integrity pledge for citizens. I believe that corruption has been one of the major obstacles to economic, political, and social progress of our country. I believe that all stakeholders such as government, citizens, and private sector need to work together to eradicate corruption. I believe that every citizen should be vigilant and commit to highest standards of honesty and integrity at all times and support the fight against corruption. I therefore pledge to follow probity and rule of law in all walks of life, to neither take nor offer bribe, to perform all tasks in an honest and transparent manner, to act in public interest, to lead by example, exhibiting integrity in personal behavior, to report any incident of corruption to the appropriate agency.
Thank you, ma'am. And we pledge that we will abide by what we have just heard and read. Yes, as worthy citizens of our country. And today, I would also like to thank and welcome our esteemed judges for the competition, namely Mr. Soma Banerjee, who is the HOD of English Department, Dr. Mrs. Ashwini Paradkar, who is the librarian of our college, that is St. Francis de Sales College, and Mrs. Sonika Hilson, a faculty from the junior college teaching biology. So a hearty welcome to you all, ma'ams, and I'm sure we will all have a good time listening to the participants and their speeches. Now, without wasting much time, we will go with the competition proper and a few rules for those of our audience. The rules are already given to the participants. And now, for the sake of the audience, I'd just like to say that we are going to judge the participants based on 4 criteria. Number 1, content, which will have 10 points. The diction carries another 10 points. The logical sequence of flow, which carries another 10. And finally, for the overall presentation, 20 marks or 20 points. So altogether, it will be 50 points for the judging. So kindly make note. And as the participants come, they are given 5 minutes in all. At the 4th minute, there will be a warning bell, after which they have to wind up with their speech in a minute. So after 5 minutes, if anyone goes prolongs his speech, maybe the judges can get into negative marking. Yes. So I hope that is clear. The judges, kindly unmute yourselves, and then
Yes,
maybe you can make yourselves visible. You can make your screens visible to us. Turn on the videos so that we see all of us. Yeah.
yes, Master.
Yes, that is Soma ma'am, Ashwini ma'am, and there is Sonika ma'am. Yeah. And during the competition, only the participant unmutes himself or herself and keeps the video on all through the event, unless there is some network issue. Okay. Now we go with the competition. The first participant is Francis Samuel. Francis Samuel, please come forward.
Am I visible, Father?
Yes, you're visible, audible. Yeah, go ahead. Your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone. I am Francis David Raj Samuel. I am here today to speak about role of youth in making India corruption-free nation. Corruption is the main cause of nuisance around the world. By definition, corruption is misusing of the power for personal or private gain. By every definition, corruption means the violation of the country law, social and ethical norms. In short, it is the cause which weakens the roots of a nation. The greatest wealth and strength of any nation is its youth. The future of a nation lies in the hands of its prosperity. Benjamin Disraeli said, "The youth of nation are the trustees of prosperity." It is only due to courage, determination, and spirit of youth that our nation prospers and progress. Youth can play an important role in eradicating corruption. Corruption has eaten up the innocence of people belonging to all walks, sections, and classes in the country. Ancient Quid rightly said, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watched them do without doing anything." Today, what we need is a kind of Today, what we need is a kind of spirit in our youth to combat corruption in our country. The youth of a nation are its potential energy. They are the ones who are the pride of the nation. Our youth must have really concern about corruption. There was a time when some youths were not aware of their rights and were not interested in politics. But youth of modern India knows how important politics is for them, how dangerous corruption is for them, how corruption is weakening the system, how it is the biggest obstacle in their path to success. They know they are discouraged due to inequality, immorality in the society, broken down of family value, and unemployment. In order to remove all these malpractices and ill deeds from the society, youth should raise voice against corruption. Everyone knows youth in every country can prove to be effective counter to corruption since they are young, fresh ideas, talent, vibrant, which can help to reduce malpractices and increase transparency. Some of things where youth can contribute to. First, young people should lead in spreading awareness. Many times, corruption happens because people are ignorant of rules and hence gets cheated. It is anyway tough to fool an aware person. Social media and internet can be used for this. Young people should themselves become honest. If they themselves do not display integrity, entire initiative is bound to fail. If every Indians, including youth, try to not participate in corrupt activities, then automatically the corruption will vanish. And definitely, This is not an overnight task and it requires self-realization and stuff. So this will give us a peaceful and life, guiltless life in long run. Based on what I said so far, it is only the role of youth, but also every citizen as a major role in fighting against corruption. Let us consider the corruption as a plant and the bribe we give as a water to this plant. If we would water this plant, it will grow. If we continue to water it, will soon grow huge and shall become a tree. And trees are very difficult to uproot it. But now let us think, if we stop watering this tree, what will happen? The tree will soon die of starvation, that is, corruption will be uprooted. Thus, it is our responsibility to stop watering the plant around us, only then we can end corruption. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Francis Samuel. Next participant is Ananya Chakranarayan. Ananya Chakranarayan. Ananya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shall I start?
Yeah, please, please. You can introduce yourself. Tell us from which class.
A very good morning to everyone. Myself Ananya Ashok Chakranarayan, and currently I am studying in BA second year. So my today's topic is the role of youth in fighting against corruption. So the youth is a spark that can either burn the country or lighten the country. Every country has a youth where youth has proved to be a effective counter to the corruption. Since they are young with the fresh ideas that can help to reduce the malpractices and in increasing the transparency as well. So India has the largest population. About 65% of India's population is young and comes under the age of 35 years. So I think it's a high time to achieve the things that we could not achieve in the past. The corruption is spreading rapidly like a toxic gas in the atmosphere. And it's time to take a serious action and raise our voice against this corruption. Consider a sector of a society, be it in education, be it economic, be it social, political, business, be it anything. The dark mark of corruption is there everywhere. Take the system of education. The education system has become a money making business where education has become a right of rich. The number of self-financing institutions are increasing day by day. So where will the poor go? The power of money, muscle power, the succession, everything has badly influenced our democracy. Any criminal can win any case if he has enough money to pay. So it's youth that is the strength of the nation and that can build the nation. It is the maker of tomorrow. So what are the ways and what are the areas where you can contribute to? There are a lot of ways in which youth can contribute to. The youth should be politically aware and utilize the democratic power in a good and right way. That is by electing a good and honest leader. Secondly, we shall start working with the government organizations and should get into the government jobs more than the highly paid private sector jobs because working for the nation should be our first and the top priority. We should pledge that we should not bribe anyone at the worst conditions, even at the worst conditions. And educating the people, the society about the bad effects of corruption should be our topmost priority. And I think we should raise our voice. And even after rooting out the corruption from the society, it is our responsibility to sustain the non-corrupted atmosphere. We should make sure that the path we lay down should sustain for a longer time. We need more honest people Though the number of honest people is decreasing day by day in the society, but the uh, we believe that the society has ample honest person to deal with corruption. The need is to identify you and encourage them and so that their number may get increased. The disease of corruption is increasing very rapidly, so it's time to control it. Let us pledge together for the development of our country by working and paying the taxes at the right time. Uh, the satyagraha is in our blood, and rather than sitting at home and commenting on the government policies, we should try to fight to change it right away and by following the path of non-violence. So the disease of corruption is spreading rapidly, and the treatment required uh, a proper awareness. We should enter into the politics and should start cleaning rather than sitting at home and commenting on the government policies. We should create a corruption-free society so that our next generation can see the India as a developed nation. So I end my speech right here, and thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, Ananya. Our next participant is Miss Samina Khan. Samina Khan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please come forward.
So,
Yeah,
visible.
go ahead. Yes.
Should I start?
Yeah, please start.
Morning is calm, morning is silent, morning is incomplete without wishing to you all. A very good morning to everyone. Hi, this is Ushali Madaskar here to speak on the topic role of the youth in making India corruption free. As we all know that United Nations report has said that India is the home for more than 600 million youth. That is more than the 65% of the total population of our country. This youth population make India a young India, and thus our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir has described this as a Yuva Shakti Devo Bhava. No one can deny that youth of today is the future of tomorrow, and thus I feel that youth has the power to eradicate corruption from our society. But what is corruption? Corruption is the misuse or abuse of public power for the personal gain. And we find dark marks of corruption which is hindrance to the development of our society. Thus it is said that माना कि भ्रष्टाचार का अंधेरा घना है, माना कि भ्रष्टाचार का अंधेरा घना है, पर उसे जड़ से मिटाना यह कहाँ मना है, पर उसे जड़ से मिटाना कहाँ मना है. Thus we are the youth here to eradicate corruption from our society. Because why the only youth? Because youth of today is the future of tomorrow. Because youth has the power, potential and energy. Along with that, youth are very well known about the digital world as well as the technology. Thus, I personally feel that youth has a power or play an important role in the eradication of the society. The role which is played by the youth in eradication of the corruption from our society are first spreading awareness. Youth spread the awareness through the public campaign and the social media. This is the primary source through which the corruption is eradicated from our society. Second one, youth should be honest and follow the ethics in their life. Third one, youth should follow technological innovation. Through the technological innovation, youth can assist in bringing transparency and accountability in the government office. And this 100% digitalization bring the corruption at a minimum level. Fourth one, youth can uphold and bring the truth to the public through the social media. And fifth one, youth should strive hard to reach at the top positions in the politics as well as in the government, so that they can formulate policies which bring development, prosperity, justice, truth, as well as bring our society which is corruption free. Yes, it is rightly said that if we would like to bring or if we would like to fulfill our dream of corruption free India, we should come forward and join our hands together. Thus, my personal message to everyone, every youth is that we should build sense of patriotism towards our nation, and by joining hands together, we must destroy corruption, otherwise corruption destroys us. Thus, it is the responsibility of each and every individual, each and every citizen of this nation, along with the youth, that we should eradicate corruption from our society and bring the society at a development level. I would like to conclude by saying that जागो उठो धरती के जवानों, जागो उठो धरती के जवानों, अपनी शक्ति तुम जानो, जागो उठो धरती के जवानों, अपनी शक्ति तुम जानो, देश के युवाओं जाग जाओ, देश के युवाओं जाग जाओ, भ्रष्टाचार को जड़ से मिटाओ, भ्रष्टाचार को जड़ से मिटाओ. जय हिंद, जय भारत. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Vrishali. Thank you. Our next participant is Atulya Lal. Atulya Lal. Atulya, are you there? Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
And my video is on.
Okay, it will come. You may begin.
Okay, sir. So, good morning to everyone present here. I'm Atulya Lal from BSc second year, and I'm here to share my thoughts on corruption-free India and what all are the challenges we will face as we work towards a corruption-free country. Firstly, we have to understand corruption and who causes it. So, corruption, as you all might know, is the unhealthy, unlawful, and immoral practice of consuming money by a government official, a traffic police inspector, or an institute who is offering you an admission. These are the authorities with whom our paths have crossed at least once in our life. So, how do they become corrupt? They didn't do a course for it. They were not taught these practices at school or home. They are all doing a job with regular salary. So, what all can be the reasons that a person becomes corrupt? Exception that they have fun in having corruption. So, I have thought and brought some points in front of you which can be the reasons that causes corruption. So one of the reasons is there are jobs that are not paid proportional to their respective work burdens. For instance, an average salary of a police inspector in our country is just 7 lakhs per annum. We all know police play a most crucial role in our judicial system. They are the first to know about any crime. Every action they take, every evidence they collect is the base on which the punishment and bails are issued by our judiciary. And moreover, they do all the field works and many times risk their own lives to catch criminals. So taking all these work into account, we all can agree that they are not paid well. So what we can do is, if we could bring this into perspective and acknowledge police forces for the safety they provide us every day and are able to provide them a reasonable salary, corruption in this field can be reduced for sure. And similarly in other government offices, if this can be a suitable solution, then surely our officials should look upon this. Second, the constant pressure of the society to have a posh life and appreciation of materialistic lifestyle acts as a mental pressure for every individual to earn more, and many times push them to take unethical paths to earn tremendous amount of money. So the challenge here is to tackle the deep-rooted mentality of our society, which gives importance to money over experience and knowledge. We have to normalize and appreciate simple way of living and at minimal expenditure. We have to respect people for their work and personality instead of glorifying the antiques in their castles. And third, it's the most obvious reason, but yet so lightly taken. We as individuals are contributing to corruption by normalizing bribing police or the government officials to get our work done faster. Let's accept the fact that corrupt people are corrupt because there are people who are ready to pay them unethical money. And in our country, people would rather pay extra 200 to a government official than filing a case against them for corruption. Because let's face it, no one wants to go through so much of trouble of interrogation and attending 2-3 hearings before you are given justice for a case of corruption. And this is another challenge, that is our judicial system, which is too slow and too complicated for a normal citizen to understand and to work in hand with our judicial system, which can only be upgraded by our authority. So the question arises, what can you do as an individual? You should discourage the people who are asking for unlawful money from you. Ask for challan if you are stopped by a traffic police instead of giving the money right away. Get yourself updated with new government policies. And finally, use the social media right. If you are ever in a situation where you are forced to pay money unlawfully, try keeping your camera on, record the whole situation, post it, or post a written tweet about it, tag the local or state authorities. Let the people know that you were wronged. Because believe me, social media holds a big power today. No case posted publicly will be taken lightly. This adds pressure on the authorities to take action and, moreover, motivate people to appreciate knowledge and not money. And in the end, I would just like to say, if you are someone who believes in doing right, who wants this nation to be better, you, my friend, you hold power to change this country, and just believe in yourself and speak out. Thank you.
Thank you, Atulya Lal. Our next participant is Maria Khan. Maria Khan, please be ready.
Am I visible, Father?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Fatima Khan, student of BSc final year. Today, the topic of my concern is the role of youth in making India a corruption-free nation. Corruption. Basically, corruption is the dishonesty which is amongst every one of us. We cannot blame a particular group of people or only the legal authorities for being corrupt, while we are practicing the same in some or the other way. Corruption is not just taking bribe in return for a favor or giving bribe in return for a favor, like getting rid from some rules and regulation or from some illegal work or getting some legal work done without a proper documentation, etc. But it includes all sort of dishonesty, wrongdoing, negativity, and each and every evil which is amongst us, which has been inculcated amongst us unconsciously by our elders. They don't even realize when they teach us this, because they were just thinking that they are teaching us something good. But as a children, we took it as something good, but that was wrong. For example, let's understand the situation with an example. If we say a child that I will give you a chocolate, but in return you have to hide a particular incidence from a particular person for me, the child will immediately agree with your condition and will say immediately and will surely say yes, because he is not even bothered about if you are right or wrong. He don't even understand. He is way too small to understand the difference between right and wrong. What he can understand is that you are saying him something to do and you are giving something good in return to him. That means the the thing you are asking him to do should be right, because we only taught him this mentality. We only set this mentality of the child in him that if you are doing something good to someone, you will get something good in return. This is we taught him this. So we don't even realize at this point that we are going wrong. We are inculcating a seed of corruption in the young innocent mind of a small little child, which will penetrate into his mind and will take control over his mind completely. And this gives rise to a corrupt individual. So if we are thinking that situations like these, similar situations like this, acts as the origin for in the lifetime of a person for building the personality of him as a corrupt personality, which gives birth to a corrupt nation. Hence, it is our responsibility to get rid of it, to make all this correct, and to overcome this problem. And we should always double check each and every single step of ours, especially which involves dealing with children, because this is our nation and it is our society. So it is our responsibility to make this society a powerful nation, a strong nation, a better place to live in, where everyone can live happily. Everyone is free to live happily. For making this possible, we need to present the best of ourselves in front of the upcoming young generation too, because they don't learn from what we teach them. They learn from what we show them. They are more to what we are presenting before them. So it is for presenting the best of ourselves before them. It is our responsibility to first overcome our wrongdoing, our corruption within us, so that we can make the society a strong empire, a better place to live in, our nation a corruption-free nation. So these are my thoughts and my feelings that we can do as the youth of our nation to make a strong and powerful empire, to make a corruption-free India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria Khan. Our next participant is Preet Braganza. Preet?
Father, am I clearly visible and audible?
Just a second. Yes, you are there.
So, should I begin?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Eradicating corruption isn't just good governance, it's patriotism. It needs to start from ourselves, because it's a step for a brighter future, for a brighter India. Of the citizens, for the citizens, and by the citizens. Quoted by me. With this, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, and Adab. And a pleasant good morning to one and all. This is Preet Braganza from the BSc first year from the Department of Biotechnology. In the past hour, you have heard a couple of points based on the challenges ahead for a corruption-free India and how can honesty and morals be put into action to overcome the same. But who are called to the vocation of accepting and giving a head-on competition to this challenge? Who are called to be honest? Well, of course, it's all the citizens. But here, we mostly target the youth, the young generation, because they are the future of tomorrow, right? So, be the change you want to see in the world. Start it from yourself from the very beginning. Like if your friends just tell you, bunk your English lectures and hang out with them in the GCR or Balodian. Take a stand for yourself. Say no, because you're coming to college not to do that stuff. There's where you take responsibility of your own self. Because little steps and a road to success. Just because there's no policeman on the traffic signal doesn't mean that you're bound to break it. Or if you're caught in any scam or scandal, you just bribe the officers, pay them the amount, and flee from the situation. The youth can spend endless hours on Instagram sharing memes on socio-political affairs. You criticize the government, but then why don't you put your voice into action? Why is that suppressed in memes and small jokes? Well, make an alliance, set out help from trustable agencies, and then you are the one to bring the revolution. And if you can't do it, फिर क्या करे भाई? Just elect the rightful elective so that they will elect a good governing body. So yeah, go for your votes. As we have spoken about social media, today nepotism, another form of corruption, is hyped in the country. And yesterday night in Big Boss as well. However, the news and media have channeled it in a very wrong way, and especially the content, which has introduced and targeted to the youth, is by diverting the topic of nepotism to Karan Johar and Ekta Kapoor's orientation, thereby promoting and misleading content about the LGBT community in India by the downgraded YouTubers like Carrie Minati and Hindustani Bhau. This created a hype of homophobia among the youth, and the whole YouTube was TikTok thing, and how YouTube and the youth together of India, they just banned TikTok out of India. But at least use the senses in the right place for whom to follow, for the entertainment, and where not to entertain such misleading content of those entertainers. The youth should know the basic fundamentals rights as were made aware in the SDP, and try to make others aware about it too. You should not see your career as just a source to generate money. Try to bring a reform, a change in your field of interest, because that's where the youth are expected to do. The unemployed youth can work with NGOs. It's much better than doing some cheap, deteriorated courses from YouTube and scamming people's money. I guess that's the only reason we all have true callers in our smartphones and iPhones too. And maybe that's why Amitabh Bachchan every day in KBC keeps making us vigilant. That satark rahiye, jankar rahiye. So, I gotta speed up, yeah. So as it's Vigilance Awareness Week, the youth, if see any sort of corruption, no matter how big or small, can directly contact the Ministry of External Affairs by the Right to Information portal on the Central Vigilance Committee, where they can lodge an online report or complaint. At least that's transparent. In a nutshell, be the change you want to see. Actively participate in social youth activities. And girls, please stop faking feminism. Try educating others. Use technology to advocate transparency. Question the government instead of just merely following the policies. Be an incorruptible personality in all sectors and every aspect of your life. So yeah, I would like to sign off by reciting some lines especially written for this speech I designed by my former batchmate Ansh. And here it goes. लिख रहा हूँ शब्द, अब सैलाब आएगा. लिख रहा हूँ शब्द, अब सैलाब आएगा. मेरा लहू हर कतरा इकलाब ले आएगा. जब एक होगा हर हिंदुस्तान का नौजवान, तब देश में बदलाव आएगा. तब देश में बदलाव आएगा. Thanks for listening. Have a blissful day ahead. This is me, Preet Braganza, signing off. Thank you.
Hello, Father. Are you there? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Preet. The next
Yes,
person
ma'am.
is, yeah, Megha Someshwar Tupte. Megha? Megha Someshwar Tupte.
Ma'am, I think it's Amandeep Kaur, the next participant.
After Preet.
Megha is not present.
No, Megha is not present. Okay, then it's Amandeep Kaur Dillon. Yeah, Amandeep, please come forward.
Am I visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Indian
Yeah.
colors will fall very high. Corruption will stop if we will try. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. I'm Andeep Kaur, student of BA first year, and I intend to extend my views in favor of the topic Role of Youth in Eradicating Corruption from. What comes to your mind when I say the word youth or youthfulness? Well, there are many answers to this question. Some say that youth has no age. They say that they cannot bound or limit the spirit of youthfulness in terms of age, while the others say that there is only one method to measure the youthfulness of our country, and that is the age. But if you ask me, then according to me, youth is the joy. They are the true soldiers, and if there is any power that can eradicate corruption, it is the youth of the nation. I like to quote the saying that Taj Mahal was built as a team. Without a team, it was a far. Yes, just like that, eradicating corruption or eliminating corruption is impossible without the collective will of the youth, because they are aware of all the latest technologies. They have fresh as well as innovative ideas which can make India corruption free. Whenever we hear the word corruption, we tend to point a finger towards the political leaders or government officers. But, we do not oversee the fact that the remaining four fingers are pointing towards us. Corruption is related to human beings, which means it is related to each and every one of us. Yet, we look upon someone else to tackle the issue of corruption. However, little do we realize that those are the political leaders we chose. Selecting a good leader is the responsibility of all the citizens. A politician's son becomes politician. Though there are many young people who are more efficient than them, but due to incapability and inefficiency of that particular leader who came into power with recommendations, citizens might lose their hope in Indian democracy as a whole. So to prevent this to happen, youth should fearlessly take up politics, and they should participate in politics voluntarily to give new dimensions to it, to take right decisions and act wisely, and must provide what the society really needs. For example, youth can share their knowledge with rural population, or educate them how to use mobile banking systems, as well as online transactions, because this will increase the amount of money a farmer can earn, because intermediaries are eliminated. Also, there are many private as well as public sectors where red tapeism is evident. It might be due to mere negligence, jealousy, and lethargic attitude. But, ma'am, am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, you're audible.
you're audible.
Okay, ma'am. So, youth can alleviate this issue of red tapeism by using e-clearance, e-governance, as well as transparent economy. Because the only cure to stop corruption is the complete transparency in all the activities of all the sectors. So the youth must be courageous to stand with truth and raise their voice against injustice. They should strive to reach to top positions so that they can frame a good policies for the nation, like the development as well as prosperity, truth and justice, and thereby a corruption-free nation. At last, I would like to say, let's stop anti-corruption. Let's not be corrupted before it is too late. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amandeep. And Soma ma'am, I'm back. Really sorry for that network disruption there. Yeah. Our next participant is Royal Thapa. Royal Thapa, please.
नमस्कार, माझे नाव आहे रॉयल. मी BA फायनल इयरला शिकत आहे. माझे विषयाचे नाव आहे भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त भारत यापुढे आव्हान आहे. गल्ली मोहरात गोंधळ आहे, प्रत्येक भ्रष्टाचारी चोर आहे. गल्ली मोहरात गोंधळ आहे, प्रत्येक भ्रष्टाचारी चोर आहे. जो करतो भ्रष्टाचार तो असतो लाचार. आपल्याला माहित आहे की भ्रष्टाचार कशा प्रकारे भारत देशामध्ये आपली मुळे पसरत आहे. काही वर्षापूर्वी भारतला सोन्याचा पक्षी किंवा सुवर्ण पक्षी या नावाने ओळखले जात होते. अशा या सुवर्ण पक्षी म्हणणाऱ्या भारतात भ्रष्टाचार आपली मुळे पसरत आहे. त्याच प्रकारे आपण पाहतो की भ्रष्टाचार काम होते कारण की आपण त्याला होऊ देतो. भ्रष्टाचार होण्याचं कारण खूप प्रकारे कारण आहे. भ्रष्टाचार यासाठी होते कारण की लोकांच्या मनात लोभाची किंवा स्वार्थाची भावना आहे. काही लोक जे शिक्षित नाही आहे आणि त्यांना बेरोजगार करा लागते. बेरोजगारच्या कारण ते लोक भ्रष्टाचाराचा मार्ग निवडतात आणि भ्रष्टाचार करतात. त्याच प्रकारे काही वर्षापूर्वी ज्या डॉक्टरला आपण परमेश्वरचं स्थान द्यायचं, आज तोच डॉक्टर लोकांच्या किडना काढून त्यांना मारत आहे आणि भ्रष्टाचार करत आहे. भ्रष्टाचार आज समाजाला लागलेला एक कलंक आहे. भ्रष्टाचारामुळे सार्वजनिक कार्य पूर्णपणे होत नाही. काही स्थानावर मोठी मोठी इमारती बांधतात, रोड होतात, मोठी इमारती बांधतात, रस्ते होतात, पण काही वर्षानंतर ते इमारती आणि रस्ते खराब होऊन जातात. हे सगळं भ्रष्टाचाराच्या कारणच होते. भ्रष्टाचार थांबवासाठी आम्हाला लोकांच्या मनात जागृतीची भावना उत्पन्न करायला पाहिजे. सरकारला सक्त कानून बनवायला पाहिजे, ज्या प्रकारे भ्रष्टाचार नाही व्हायला पाहिजे आणि लोकांच्या मनातून लोभाची आणि स्वार्थाची भावना मिटून जायला पाहिजे. भ्रष्टाचार यासाठी होते कारण की लोकांच्या मनात स्वार्थाची आणि लोभाची भावना आहे. स्वार्थाच्या भावनामुळे लोक भ्रष्टाचाराचा मार्ग नियुक्त करतात आणि आपली लालचला पूर्ण करतात. त्याच प्रकारे लोक आपल्या स्वार्थासाठी भ्रष्टाचाराचा मार्ग वापरत आहे आणि भ्रष्टाचार करत आहे. भ्रष्टाचाराला थांबवासाठी सरकारने शिक्षणाचं आयोजन केलं पाहिजे. आज लोक शिक्षित नाही आहे म्हणून ते लोक भ्रष्टाचाराचा वापर करत आहे. समाजामध्ये लोकांच्या मनात इमानदारीने आपलं कार्य करण्याची शक्ती नाही आहे. आज लोक इतके आळशी झाले आहेत की त्यांना आपले कार्य इमानदारीने करायसाठी, त्यांना मेहनत करायसाठी त्यांना मेहनत करायची शक्ती नाही, म्हणून ते लोक भ्रष्टाचाराचा मार्ग वापरतात आणि भ्रष्टाचार करतात. धन्यवाद.
Yeah, thank you, Royal. Our next participant supposed to be Sanskruti. I think she has lost connection, so we will go ahead with Om Shukla. Om Shukla, please come forward.
Father, am I visible?
It's coming on my screen. Guess. Is he visible to anyone else? So, ma'am?
No,
not yet. Om.
Okay.
Anyone can see Om?
No, I can't see.
No, Father.
Okay. Om, try.
now?
Yes, yes. Yeah, go ahead.
नमस्कार, मैं ओम शुक्ला, बीए दूसरे वर्ष का छात्र, आप सबके समक्ष भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त भारत पर अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूँ। भ्रष्टाचार, जिसका शाब्दिक अर्थ है भ्रष्ट आचरण, यानी ऐसा कार्य जो अपने स्वार्थ के लिए समाज के नैतिक मूल्यों को ताक पर रखकर किया जाता हो। और मुझे ये अफसोस के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि हमारे देश में भ्रष्टाचार की जड़ें बेहद मजबूत हैं। इसके कई दुष्परिणाम हमें अक्सर देखने के लिए मिलते हैं। इसके लिए कहीं ना कहीं हम भी जिम्मेदार हैं, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं हमारे देश में कई ऐसी सरकारी नौकरियां हैं जो रिश्वत देकर प्राप्त की जाती हैं। कई महाविश्वविद्यालयों में हम रिश्वत देकर स्थान प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, और कई ऐसे अन्य कार्य हैं जो हम पैसे की ताकत दिखाकर उन्हें करवा सकते हैं। और इन्हीं कारणों की वजह से किसी ईमानदार व्यक्ति के स्थान पर एक भ्रष्ट व्यक्ति बैठता है, जो कि भ्रष्टाचार को और बढ़ावा देता है। और हम हमेशा की तरह देखते रह जाते हैं और चुनाव के वक्त भी किसी ऐसे नेता को वोट देते हैं जो पूरी तरीके से भ्रष्ट है, और बाद में उसके दुष्परिणाम से भुगतते हैं और हमें उससे पछतावा होता है। जिस पर एक कहावत भी है कि अब पछताकर होगा क्या जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत। तो चिड़िया को खेत चुगने से रोकने के लिए, यानी इस देश से भ्रष्टाचार रोकने के लिए, हमें कुछ महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाने की आवश्यकता है। सबसे पहले तो हमें अपने भीतर का भ्रष्टाचार खत्म करना होगा, जिसके लिए हमें अपनी मानसिकता बदलनी होगी और अपने आसपास या अपने घर के आसपास हमें जानकारी इकट्ठा करनी होगी कि कहीं हमारे घर के आसपास कोई सरकारी दफ्तर या संस्था जहां पर रिश्वतखोरी तो नहीं होती, या हम किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति को जानते हो जो रिश्वत लेकर कार्य करता हो, या कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति जो रिश्वत देता हो और अपना कार्य पूर्ण कराता हो। ऐसे वक्त इलेक्शन या व्यक्ति हमसे मांगता है तो हम उससे रिश्वत देने की बजाय उसकी शिकायत करें, क्योंकि रिश्वत अगर गुनाह है तो रिश्वत देना उससे गुनाह है। हम किसी नैतिक दल या नेता को देने से पहले उसके इकट्ठा कर सकते हैं। मैं जानता हूँ जानकारी इकट्ठा करना चुनौतीपूर्ण हो सकता है, मगर इतना आवश्यक है जितना अपने लिए एक उचित व्यवसाय ढूंढना, एक नौकरी ढूंढना। हम एक सही नेता को चुनकर सरकार बनाने योग्यता, हम एक अच्छी सरकार बनाने के लिए कदम उठा सकते हैं, क्योंकि कदम है। मुद्दों पर सख्त है। हमारे देश में भ्रष्टाचार जैसे गुनाह के लिए सख्त कदम नहीं है। इसी कारण किसी भी सरकारी दफ्तर में एक छोटे से क्लर्क से लेकर एक बड़े अफसर तक रिश्वत लेने से घबराते हैं, और इसी कारणवश रिश्वत एक दीमक की तरह साबित हो रही है जो हमारे देश को भीतर से खोखला कर रही है। और अगर कोई चीज हमारे देश को खोखला करती है तो उससे मुझे फर्क पड़ता है। अगर आपको पड़ता है तो इस पे जरूरी कदम आप जरूर उठाएं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, Om. And our next participant is Shiva Adlaka. Shiva Adlaka, over to you. Yes, you are visible, audible. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Father.
Be a little loud. Be a little loud. Yeah.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, fine.
Corruption. Corruption is a cancer that eats away a citizen's faith in democracy and diminishes the instinct for innovation and creativity. Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Shiva Adlaka, student of BA first year, and my topic is Corruption-Free India and its challenges ahead. Corruption. Well, corruption is not just a misuse of power. It is a cancer that is spreading so deeply into the minds of people that it has infected moral and ethical fabric of the system and the society as a whole. The term corruption is derived from the Greek word corruptus, which means to destroy, as it destroys the values, ethics, and stunts the growth of nation. It can be simply defined as the abuse of entrusted power and authority for private gain. Now, corruption-free
Shiva,
India.
may I interrupt you? Your video is not coming. Video is not
Uh,
visible.
is it visible now?
Yes, you're there. Yeah, yeah. Again,
Corruption.
it's gone again. Maybe are you switching over between tabs? If
No,
you
Father. I
change the
think
tab,
it's a camera issue. I think.
okay. Try. You're seen now.
Just a minute.
Visible now.
Now it's visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I continue. Corruption-free India. Now, corruption-free India is not just a target like corruption-free India 2030. It's just a continuous journey, and this journey has its own challenges. And these challenges I will be discussing one by one. Now, recently, Transparency International released an index named Corruption Perception Index, where this index showed that the position of India has slipped from 78 to 80 out of the 120 nations, and it is the most widely used indicator. This indication tells the perception of corruption in the minds of public, and this definitely tells that there are challenges that are faced in the country yet. The first challenge that I will be speaking about is definitely the lower level corruption that happens regularly on day-to-day basis. For example, a traffic police havaldar asking for a fine without giving any challan slip at roads and other low-level day-to-day corruption. Now, what is the solution to this corruption? I think that the solution is that there should be a responsibility, an attitude, a mentality among us citizens that we should stop promoting corruption, stop paying bribes, we should ask for the salan slips. And because it is only because of our attitude that these forms of corruption are rampant nowadays, and it is considered very normal, and everyone is giving it. Now, the other challenge that is faced is at the government level, where no work is done unless a citizen pays a percentage of amount. For example, in public work department offices, in these PWD offices, we all know that work is deliberately delayed unless we pay a heavy bribe to the officer or any other government official. Now, what is the solution for this? I think the solution lies that there should be a proper punishment system that should be made on these officials if they delay any work. And if an official does all the work in time, he should be properly rewarded and promoted. Now, the other problem also lies that in our country, a government official, especially like a of IS officer and other bureaucrats, the official is promoted based on the years of service and not depending on the work done and the quality of work done. And the result of this can be seen that in many government offices, they deliberately do less work. They may not ask for any money, but they deliberately are lazy and refuses to service our public. This can be seen in bureaucracy and also in the police, where they refuse to file FIR, not just because of asking money, but also that they do not feel that it's very important unless it is from a VIP citizen. Now, the solution lies that there should be a reward and punishment system here also, where promotions should only be done based on the work done by the officer and not based on the years of service. Now, lastly, there comes the biggest nexus in the corruption, the political and corporate corruption. We all know that in political corruption, there is a fixed amount set up by the election commission, but in 2019, a total of $8 billion was spent, and this money definitely comes from the corporates. Now, what happens that if these politicians win, they pay back the corporates by paying favors to the corporate companies like in telecommunication sector, and this is how the corruption is done in billions of dollars. The solution here also is that there should be a strict implementation of rules and even stricter judicial system that immediately punishes such candidates. Now, on my end, I will say that when such solutions are set up, I believe that the journey towards the corruption-free India will be faster, as such small steps and collective attitude of the citizens can drive the nation towards glory. If corruption is a disease, transparency is the central part of its treatment. As the president of World Bank rightly said, radical transparency is the only way forward. There is no going backward. We must ensure that the greater transparency will drive the prevention and the uncovering of the corruption that will take all the nations to stop its glory. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivadlaka. Our next participant is Rutika Nagpure. Rutika Nagpure.
Yes. Am I visible?
Just a second. Is she visible to anyone?
No, Father.
Not yet. Not yet. Rutika.
Now?
Yes. Yeah.
Shall I start?
Yeah, please.
Hello everyone, I am Ritika Vasanta Nagpure. I am a student of BSc first year and I am going to speak on the topic, the role of youth in making India corruption free. In my mother tongue language, Marathi. तर भ्रष्टाचारामुळे महागाई वाढली आहे. त्यामुळे मजूर, भूमिहीन शेतमजूर, शेतकरी व अशा बहुजनांवर पोट आवळण्याची वेळ आली आहे. त्यातच कोविड-19मुळे देशाची अर्थव्यवस्थाही ढासळली आहे. खरं तर योग्य नियमांचे पालन न केल्यामुळेच भ्रष्टाचार वाढत जातो. त्यासाठी सुशिक्षित पदवीधर युवक आणि युवतींनी शिक्षण घेतानाच नोकरीवर लागल्यानंतरच भ्रष्टाचार करणाऱ्यांवर योग्य लढा घ्यायला हवा. कडक आणि प्रतिबंधित नियमांचे पालन करायला हवे. तेव्हाच कुठे आपण भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त लढ्यात योग्य ठरू शकू. प्रत्येकाने प्रामाणिकपणे व निस्वार्थ भावनेने या भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त लढ्यात सहभागी घ्यायला हवा, असे माझे मत आहे. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this topic. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rutika. Our next participant is Samia Khan. Samia Khan. She was there a while ago, I think. Now I can't see her. Okay, then we move ahead with the next participant.
Where I think.
She's there. There is one. No, Samina has finished.
Oh, that
this
is
is Samia.
Samia.
No, Samina has finished. Yeah, Samia is not.
Okay. No, she's
so
not.
we take the next participant, that is Harshita Purohit. Harshita.
Am I visible?
Not
Hello.
yet.
Okay. Shall I start?
You're not visible, Harshita, yet. I don't know about others.
Okay.
Not to me.
So my camera is on.
Okay. Oh yes, come. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Honesty is more than not lying. It is truth loving, truth speaking, truth telling, and truth living. I know you all must be wondering, why am I telling this to you? So greetings and good morning to one and all present here. I am Harshita Purohit, student of BA first year, and I will tell you about how honesty is the best weapon to fight corruption. What is corruption? Corruption is nothing but misuse of interested power for private gain. Corruption is like that deep-rooted tree in our society which will grow again and again even if we will chop it down and cover the land by layers and layers of cement, which are nothing but statements of people about how corruption no longer exists and corruption is gone. But in reality, corruption still exists and it is growing deeper and more stronger than ever. Corruption is not only about those grand scams done by politicians, big companies, or any another body which holds a lot of power in their hand, but it is also about those small scams which are ignored on daily basis. Such scams are known as petite corruption. If we will sum up all the petite corruption together, the impact will be more than that of grand corruption done by anyone. The Jeep scam V.K. Krishnan Menon, Indian Commissioner to United Kingdom, signed a deal of 80 lakhs without
proceeding according to the protocols. For buying army jeeps. When I said last two lines, I put pressure on the word major because small corruptions are ignored and they are not broadcasted on any news channels, and we do not read about them in newspapers, and hence we do not know how many more scams has been taken place before this major corruption in independent India, and we still don't know. The hypocrisy is even corrupt people want honest employees and friends and devotees for themselves, whatever we say, whatever we call. Even Duryodhan wanted an honest person to be on his side, and Karna was that honest person. Though Karna always knew that he is on the wrong side, but he still chose to be on that side. We as human beings always know, and we as human beings always have choice to choose between right and wrong and good and bad. We as human beings, we all who has taken birth in this world knows that corruption do no good. Still many of us incline towards that path, and it happens because many of us do not include honesty as an integral part of our life. We need to understand that honesty is an integral part of our life, because when honesty is not an integral part of our life, people through scams and corruption feel no guilt after escaping taking money of us innocent people. We have to understand that honesty is needed in this society, because honesty is not a choice but a necessity, just like drinking water. Even Gandhi ji has said that that if you will say a lie, you have to say more lies to cover it. If we are not truthful to ourselves, our society, what help we are doing to our society then? We have to be truthful to ourselves and this society to bring this society to a place where we can lead a truthful life without any corruption. We as human beings have to contribute our part in this society because even after 1,000 scams, even after 1,000 campaigns a day, will not cut off the corruption from the roots if we will not be honest. We as human beings have to provide honesty in this society so that we can develop an environment where we can live corruption free. Last but not the least, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshita. And our last participant for this competition is Vedant Wankhede. Vedant Wankhede.
Hello, am I visible and audible?
Yeah, you're audible, all right? Yes, visible too. Please go ahead, Vedant.
A very good morning, distinguished audience. To celebrate the Vigilance Awareness Week 2020, here I am Vedant Wankhade, trying my level best to put forth my views on role of youth in making India a corruption-free nation. Friends, switch on the TV, open the print media, go through electronic media, you will find a deluge of corruption-related scandals all over the world. Unfortunately, our country ranks third in the list of corrupt countries. Corruption is an ailment similar to cancer, which has spread almost in all sectors. We are slowly becoming a diseased nation while fighting with this grave problem. We all must understand that corruption has high costs for society and economy. This is a this disease is an outcome of nexus between bureaucracy, politics, and criminals. Very appropriately, friends, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the great visionary of our nation, had already provided a solution to counteract corruption. He believed that a strong youth movement in the country only can eradicate corruption, and each student should take a vow to begin this exercise courageously. I repeat, each student should take a vow to begin this exercise courageously. Yes, a new generation of change makers, global shapers, politicians, bureaucrats with ethics, values, and virtues is required for ensuring more inclusive, transparent decision making. Franklin Roosevelt very appropriately quoted that we cannot always build future for our youth, but we can rebuild our youth for the future, bringing up a generation of youngsters who believe in the highest levels of honesty and integrity may nip the problem in the bud itself. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, the youth is the hope of our future. Yes, this appears more appropriate when we come to know that we have the world's largest youth population. Youth power is immeasurable and unfathomable. I would take liberty to quote something for youth in Hindi. जो पहाड़ों से टकराते हैं उन्हें तूफान कहते हैं और जो तूफान से टकराते हैं उन्हें युवा कहते हैं. So this reflects the indomitable spirit of our youth. A great peace activist, Ikeda Sensei, says, when young people's will to transform reality merges with an indomitable optimism, the possibilities are limitless. Friends, from the depths of my heart, I feel the youth is endowed with limitless energy, freshness of mind, are flexible, adaptive, creative, believe in hard work, and above all can influence the society. Active involvement and participation of honest youngsters in politics, business, policy making, media, and other sectors shall surely clean these areas and thereby increasing transparency everywhere. To make our youth imbibe the qualities of honesty and integrity and to sow the seeds of hatred for corruption, we have to start early and catch them young. School or college curricula is the first step of infusing values in youngsters. I have a few suggestions for our youth revision, as such as we can have integrity camps. Then this is number one. Number two, then we can have summer schools and universities who will actually run modules on strategies for reducing corruption. Point three, our teachers can be trained accordingly so that students are benefited. Point four, awareness raising campaigns about corruption may be organized. Point five, integrity idol campaign to name and fame honest bureaucrats. Point six, honest youngsters in various sectors of health, education, defense, etc. be properly awarded. Point seven, build systems which are less dependent on people. Point nine, point eight, zones of cleanliness be created. Point nine, celebrate the 12th January as National Youth Day on the occasion of the birthday of Swami Vivekanand. This will motivate and inspire many. Making fight corruption circles in every organization on the lines of quality circles, youth can easily handle this activity. Aggressively celebrating Vigilance Awareness Week everywhere shall curb the tendency of corruption. So, these were a few examples, friends, where we as youth can contribute in our fight against corruption. The road to a clean India is dependent on our youth who have the courage to think differently, courage to invent, courage to fight injustice, and make our country scale new heights. Youth activists can definitely set a national and global accountability agenda in the fight against the evil of corruption. Lastly, I would say history has been shaped by the power of youth. The youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow, quoted Nelson Mandela. Youth filled with vision, mission, values, virtues can make a difference in society, nation, and the entire world. Corruption will become a bonsai if youth unite together for its eradication. I once again wish you a very vigilance awareness week 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vedant, and thank you all the participants for your beautiful views which you have presented and delivered here on this platform. I think we had a very bright and good competition this morning on this great day of Vigilance Awareness Week as we begin it today. So now I would like to propose a formal vote of thanks. Before that, I would like to make the announcement that the results of this competition will be given to the participants by this evening. Let's say by 8 o'clock, you should have them. And you also can, those who are with us here on this YouTube channel, you can find that in the description. Similarly, in the evening, we will make that available. So you may be anxious to know who has done good. Surely each one has done better than the other. but the judges have their own say, and we will wait for their verdict, and the results will be made available to you by today itself, tonight itself. Next, I would like to thank the officials of Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited in Nagpur, and they have been connected with us over the past few years, especially on this occasion of Vigilance Awareness Week. They come and conduct activities. This is the first time that we had some online activity. Just a few days back, they had essay competition, and today we have elocution competition. Thanks to them. They are the sponsors of the prizes and the certificates. And the prize distribution will be on the 29th. It will take place in our college at 11:30. And of course, because of the norms, social distancing, hand sanitization, and all those things will be made possible. And the winners will be called to the college if you think that you can come with all the social norms being followed. Next, I thank our principal, Dr. Katie Thomas, for giving us this platform, for encouraging our students, motivating them, and guiding them in the right direction. Next, I would like to thank today's judges, Mrs. Soma Banerjee, Dr. Mrs. Ashwini Paradkar, and Mrs. Sonika Hilson for sparing their time and coming and gracing this occasion and giving us their valuable judgment. Next, I would like to thank the organizing committee. We have had a few of them. Apart from me as coordinator, we had Ms. Surabhi, who was supposed to look after Microsoft Teams live event, Mr. Roger John, who was full-time with us here doing the streaming on YouTube. Then we have Ms. Pinky Gidwani, who is the in charge for the certificates, and Ms. Reshma Kazi, who also was with us today, and she is responsible for the registration and feedback forms. And most importantly, all the audience and my dear participants, you have brought color to this show, to this competition, and I think we have slowly started liking this online platform, and I wish you all the success in your life. And as you have said beautifully, that as students, as youth of our country, you can go in the right direction. There's a long way to go, and I wish you all the success in your future endeavors. Now, before we go to the last segment, that is streaming of the national anthem, for which you will all have to rise, I would like to request all of you to turn on your videos so that we can have a maybe group photo as usually we have in the offline mode. All of you turn on your videos. Let's see that how many can fit ourselves in one frame. Can you do that? Especially the judges. I can see Soma ma'am. You can see Harshita and Vedant. Yes, Maria, Shiva, yeah, some more. And spotlight from me can go. Otherwise, I will be visible on YouTube. Rojo sir, please remove the spotlight from my video. Yeah, Preet, I can see. So it was nice listening to you all, and we are all enriched. I don't know whether the judges want to express their views, and ma'am, would like to say something?
Yeah. No, I would just like to congratulate all the participants. You have done wonderfully well, and it was actually an amazing experience, listening to young minds. And otherwise, in the classroom, we are the ones who are talking, and you are listening. So it was actually a wonderful experience, listening to all of you and getting to know what's there in your mind and how you're going to build a corrupt-free India. And I end with this sentence that I'm assured that our country is in the right hands, right? So thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. So Roger sir, I just tried to make the national anthem available. Now we can turn off our videos and we will rise for the national anthem. Once it is visible and audible, just let me know so that we can go ahead. Otherwise, sir himself may have to do, because sometimes there are problems of the screen getting stuck. Just 1 second. Is the screen visible? Yeah, I'll play it. Yeah.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता